This guy has crazy ideas of starting a business, doing some kind of a side hustle. He doesn't seem to have an actual plan. Should I move forward?
I want a wife, someone who has aspirations of becoming a mother. But all she ever talks about is opening a restaurant and running a business. I'm having doubts if she's even serious about marriage.
Assalamu alaikum, I'm Hiba.
And I'm Zaid,
You're listening to Diary of a Matchmaker.
a podcast that will take you into our world as matchmakers.
We'll share our experiences and offer advice for the single Muslim.
So let's dive in.
Bismillah.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to another episode.
Assalamu alaikum.
Let's go back in time.
Let's.
November 2019. There was magic in the air.
Yeah.
The stars were aligning. You messaged me.
You had more hair.
I had more hair. You looked younger.
What?
You were younger.
Well, I had less white hair. Apparently, marriage gives you white hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for men, it gives you less hair.
You didn't have much to begin with.
Yeah. And even now, I have even less than what I had started with. Regardless, I'm trying to think back about our conversations back when we were talking. And I want to know how much of our conversations were dominated by the topic of finances
Almost none.
or specifically entrepreneurship.
I don't remember talking about entrepreneurship prior to nikah. I think we started discussing that after the nikah.
So was entrepreneurship on your mind? Was it kind of like a distant thought, like somewhere in your head?
Actually, way before we started talking, I always had this idea that I want to have my own salad bar. And I discussed it with my cousin. We're both like health conscious people and all of that.
Yeah.
And we discussed it, like we would go as partners, and I could even imagine the design. And
Really?
yeah, once a month we would like host workshops, wellness workshops, and once upon a time.
Well, that once upon a time, that was a seed that existed in your head, and then you planted it.
Yes, but
Later,
it wasn't like I imagined, but
Yeah.
still.
Even for me, I mean, I remember talking to you, and the one thing that I always said, and I still stick with, is that I never subscribed to the idea of doing one thing every day for the rest of your life until you retire.
I remember
And die.
you said that before Arnika, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was scary saying that to girls because you can imagine how that comes across to
Yeah,
girls,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But yeah, you weren't deterred by that.
No, I guess I shared your sentiment.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that was, I guess, another reason for us to move forward, where we were just so compatible because we aligned on aspirations of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And nowadays, like entrepreneurship is becoming more of a necessity than a luxury. Like
True.
with inflation, with just like engineers being laid off left and right.
Because of AI.
AI.
Not that we're AI haters, but it is the fact that
It is a fact.
Yeah,
So entrepreneurship is becoming a must, like to survive.
For sure,
Yeah.
for sure. And it's also something that we find on registration forms a lot. Now, some people might call it a side hustle. Some people will say, oh, yes, I want some passive means of income. So we always see hints of it on
Yeah.
registration forms.
Yeah.
I recall a client who was fully in his business, 100%. Dropped out of college, was building his business, even had a website going. And I'm not sure how much he was aware of the fact that this might be a deterrent for girls.
I don't think he had an idea.
I don't think he did. For me, I was always scared to say any of these things. I was scared to always say that, hey, I'm pursuing art as a career. I mean, that just screams insecurity and financial instability for girls, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the thing. A lot of times we confuse stability with stagnation, and we confuse aspiration with recklessness.
Okay.
And when a guy, like you said, expresses inclinations to build a business, a girl could feel that this guy's immature, this guy doesn't know what he's doing, this guy is not stable, I'm not gonna have financial security with him. And maybe it's because of like a few bad apples that paint this picture.
Yeah.
Where, like I mentioned the other day, if you remember, one of my aunties, her late husband, has put them in such financial strains throughout their lives. And even after he passed away, he left a ton of debt because he made very bad financial choices. He wasn't a good businessman. And his wife and his family has had to endure throughout their life.
Wow.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like you said, people hear these stories and they think that's the norm.
Yeah.
Right? Like anybody who shares any ambition or ideas for entrepreneurship, they are financially immature, they're not ready for marriage, etc., etc.
Still discovering themselves.
Still discovering themselves, yes. And so the problem with that is that on the flip side, for guys, this creates this level of apprehension where guys just feel hesitant to even share these ideas and aspirations, and they have to fit into this mold.
Yeah.
And I suffered that for 9 years. You have to fit into this mold where you have to project this image of financial stability, education, career, etc., and that's the only way you're going to get married.
And on the flip side, there is a situation where the woman has these inclinations. She wants to start a business, and then this scares the guy, but for different reasons.
Right, because now she doesn't want to spend time at home. She doesn't want to take care of the family. She doesn't want to be a mother.
She doesn't want to recognize her role as a Muslim woman. So we'll dive into that as well, inshallah.
Yeah, so let's talk about two things that often get conflated: financial stability and financial potential. Financial stability is, something that is required for every man Islamically,
Of course.
right? Men are required to provide. We've talked about that. Everybody knows that. They're required to provide food, shelter, clothing, and basic maintenance. And then there is financial potential.
Okay, so before we talk about financial potential, what does financial stability look like? It looks like you said, the man is capable of providing the basic necessities.
Right.
Basic bills are covered.
Yep.
Uh,
There's
no
little to no debt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if there's a debt, it's like under control. There's a plan to pay it off.
Yeah.
There's consistency. It's not like 1 month he has an income, second month he doesn't have a job.
Right. And he has a basic idea of how to manage his money. He's not eating out every single day, buying things he can't afford on credit cards.
Gadgets and like shoes.
Right.
And
He's
whatever.
not reckless. I mean, those are clear-cut signs of financial immaturity.
Yeah.
Now, financial potential, in my opinion, can be two parts. Okay, so the guy could be a student. He has the potential of earning more, right? He could be a medical student. The other part is somebody who has the potential of increasing his wealth through ideas, through business, through investments, whatever it might be. Creativity. Now, of course, the flip side of that is that he could invest money into those things and it can lead nowhere. And then, like the example you just shared, it can create strain on the family.
Yeah, that's why we said it's a potential.
It's a potential.
Yeah.
So, of course, the question that comes to mind is, how do we balance stability with potential? And I think it comes down to a lot of how he explains his future goals, aspirations, especially when it comes to finances, more specifically entrepreneurship, as we're talking about. So if he's saying things like, I'll own a multi-million-dollar company one day, or, I just need someone who believes in me, and there's no articulation of a plan. I'm not saying he's got a full-fledged marketing plan in mind and he knows how he's going to launch his Facebook ads and whatnot. I'm not talking about all that. He should at least be able to explain what's problem he's solving.
Exactly.
At the bare minimum.
Yeah.
I would say.
If he's using just spiritual language, Allah will open doors, just have tawakkul, just believe in me, then that's kind of a red flag to be careful of. And I'll tell you something. I knew someone once like this.
Oh, yeah?
I knew someone, and it was my ex-fiancé, and he was that type.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. And he was, one day I will launch an Islamic bank. And he had no idea about like finances or anything. One day I'll become a millionaire. And he invested in this. You know what is it called? The pyramid scheme?
Yeah.
Pyramid scheme. Yeah. He invested the money that was supposed to go into building his house into a pyramid scheme.
Oh.
Yeah. And then he convinced me to put most of my savings into his crazy idea, this pyramid scheme.
And you did?
And I did. And he convinced me to go around and talk my friends into putting their money as well.
Wow.
Not his family, my family and my friends.
Wow.
Some of them did. Yeah.
How much money did you lose?
So I'll get to that. And of course, he just wanted quick money.
Mm-hmm.
No plan, no real ambition, just quick money.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it's a scam,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I ended up losing what would amount to, in Canadian dollars, like 6,000?
Holy, you
Yeah.
lost $6,000?
Yeah, not just that. No, how much? I can't. That part I can't exactly remember, but I'll tell you what about this $6,000. So when the thing turned out to be a scam, and he wouldn't even admit it,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, we have to pay back my friends and my family, because
Your family also invested.
not my mom and dad, some of my family, and some of my friends.
So he scammed a lot of people.
Well, he was scammed and he scammed people. And because I was a part of it, I'm like, no, like these are my friends. I'm not going to lose my friends over money. So you need to pay them back. And he's like, no, then we explained everything. This is not our responsibility. They knew what they were getting themselves into. I'm like, okay, that's like, I can't force you to do anything. So I took my savings and I paid my friends and family $6,000.
Wow.
Yes.
So it's 12,000 out. You were out 12,000.
No, 6,000. Because I don't remember exactly how much money personally I invested, honestly.
Okay. So
I
total between what you invested and what you paid back your friends was 6,000.
More. 6,000 is just what I paid my friends and family.
Okay.
My investment part, I don't remember how much it
So
was.
you were 6,000 plus out.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That hurts.
That hurts.
That
and he wouldn't
hurts.
even admit his mistake.
Wow.
Yeah. So this.
And you stuck around with this guy
no,
for
no. After
for
that,
like
no.
9. Okay. Oh, so
Yeah,
this happens towards the end.
Towards the very end. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But this is very important. Like having entrepreneurial inclinations and aspirations, and that's noble. I mean, the Prophet ﷺ, he worked. He was a trader. He had a business. Like he ran the business of Sayyida Khadija radiallahu anha. Many of the Sahaba, they were businessmen. Uthman radiallahu anhu, he was a businessman, right?
Honestly, as a culture and community, we have to start encouraging people to do this. But
yeah,
that's a conversation for another day.
I do understand why some women get hesitant about moving forward when they hear these like big plans. And so it's important to ask the right questions. And I guess it was my mistake for not asking those questions, for just following blindly, thinking like a man is a leader, a man knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I think my problem with this is, and I feel like I've covered this in that episode you mentioned, I Earn, He Pays, which is parents and girls, and it's more so parents that want to have their cake and eat it too. They invest all this time and effort and money oftentimes in their daughter's education, just so that she has some financial stability. She doesn't have to quote unquote rely on a man to be taken care of, right? And then the girl is earning good money, and now here's a proposal from a man who's got great character and deen oriented, wonderful guy, has financial stability, is able to cover the bills and everything, but has strong entrepreneurial aspirations and really is looking to pursue that, but needs some support at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And girls and parents are saying no because he isn't quote unquote financially stable. Like, why did you invest so much in your daughter's education if she's not going to be contributing somehow, some way to the overall well-being of the home?
Yeah, I think we have to start
I mean, that's what bothers me.
We have to start looking at marriage as not just as like this rigid roles and responsibilities. Okay, this is your part according to to Sharia. This is my part.
Right.
You cover this, I cover that, and marriage is more like give and take. It's
not transactional. We have to stop looking at it as a
You support me today,
transaction.
I support you tomorrow. Like,
and if the business takes off, it's going to benefit your daughter anyways.
Exactly.
And if it doesn't, okay, well, alhamdulillah, we have, your daughter is, has income coming in through her career. Not to say that, we should approach marriage with the mindset of the guy, pursuing some sort of failed business idea or anything. But it's a partnership, like you said.
Yeah,
it requires support on both sides.
So since we're here, since we're already here, let's talk about some questions a woman can ask to get some clarity about, does this man know what he's doing, or am I just taking a risk like I did, like a blind risk?
Okay. So I'm a guy.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Yes.
Your beard gives it away.
Okay. Girls have beards too sometimes, but conversation for another day. I'm a guy, and I want to marry you. And I have a job. I work at a daycare, but I have big plans for the future. I want to open a restaurant and make the best nahari the world has ever seen and just really kill the nahari game.
Okay.
How would you feel about that? As somebody who's just met me, how would you handle this?
I would admire your aspiration,
Okay,
but I will have lots of questions.
go
And
ahead.
I would expect you to welcome my questions and not see them as me diminishing your dreams.
Okay.
Have you done your research? Have you done your market research, I mean?
No, I haven't.
Okay. How will your restaurant be different from other restaurants?
The ambience is going to be much better. I have this killer location where I know it has a strong population of Desis. And I've already been serving my nahari at this local market, and it's been nonstop, just selling through the roof.
Oh,
Every
try
week.
it one day.
I always sell out, and people always compliment my nahari. And my mom and my family always tell me that, you know, if I open a restaurant and start selling my nahari there, I'll have a line through the door.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
While you are working on your business, will you have a steady or consistent income before the business takes off?
Yeah, I'll be able to cover the bills, but we won't be able to eat out as much, and you know, probably won't go out on vacations as much. Or maybe I don't even think we're going to be able to afford a vacation for the first few years.
Okay, so will you be keeping your day job?
Yeah, I'll be keeping my day job.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's going to come with some sacrifice. Just letting you know.
Yeah, I am the supportive type. I don't mind that. But
Okay.
I just want to make sure that we will have basic security.
Okay.
Do
Do you
you
mind
have-
covering like some of the extra expenses?
I'm not done with my questions, please.
Oh,
So
sorry.
before you... Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, apology accepted. Do you have an emergency fund that we can lean on in the case of, well, as it says, emergency?
Yeah, it's called my mother. No, I'm joking. Yes, I do have some savings. I'm sure it could get us through a few months.
Okay, and if the business fails, what is your plan?
I haven't thought things that far out.
Okay. What does financial stability look like to you right now?
Financial stability for me looks like a roof over my head, gas in the tank, clothes on my back, food on the table, basic bills paid, plus a little bit more for any sort of emergencies. But yeah, that's what it looks like for me right now.
Hey, if you have a story to tell, we'd love to have you on. Here you'll find a safe space of listeners who can understand what you're going through. Just shoot us an email with a summary of your story at info@halalmatch.ca.
So point and lesson learned is that there are questions to ask.
Yes.
Do not go. Of course, marriage requires support from both ends, from the guys and the girls' end. But the support doesn't look the same, right? And it's unfair for a guy to expect the girl to take over your responsibilities, which are required from you in Islam.
Yeah.
And vice versa, it's unfair for a girl to expect a guy to fulfill the responsibilities that are prescribed upon the wife. So on the flip side, if you're a guy and you have these big dreams, some things to keep in mind. Is she silent while you're asking all of these questions? Does that necessarily mean she's not supportive, or she's probably thinking you're not a good match, so I'm going to ghost you? No, not necessarily, because for a girl, of course, she needs time to process this. And a big thing for girls is, of course, financial stability. So it's very important that if you are going to be sharing this, you share it with a degree of clarity, because if you don't, then it's just going to scream immaturity, it's going to scream instability. So now, like I said before, you don't need to have a full-fledged marketing plan and some sort of exit plan, and everything that they expect from you in business school. I'm not saying that. But I would say, number one, what is the problem you're solving? Number two, do you have a rough idea of the cost that it's going to involve to get this off the ground?
That's important.
That's
Having
important.
A rough idea of numbers.
Right, rough idea. I mean, these are basic things,
Yeah.
right? And so if you're saying nonsense like, yeah, I'm just going to own $1 million business one day and, you know, you're going to be a part of it. And that's, of course, it's just silly talk.
Yeah.
So having some degree of clarity will take you a long way.
And also, don't try to guilt her into like saying yes, because not every woman is the type. Like you said, some women appreciate stability, consistency, predictability.
Yeah.
Now, on the other hand, what happens when the woman has entrepreneurial inclinations? The thing is, when a man has these goals, he's framed as a leader, and it's a sign of leadership. But when a woman does, it's perceived as risk.
Yeah.
Why the double standard, do you think?
I think the risk is that she won't be able to fulfill her roles as a wife, that she won't fulfill her role as a mother. That's where the risk comes in. So she needs to articulate, and rightfully so, she needs to articulate how she's going to balance her fard responsibilities with her ambitions.
Yeah.
And just like the expectation is with the guy to, clarify for her how he's going to fulfill his basic responsibilities in providing with his ambitions.
Okay, so how do you see a man supporting his wife's entrepreneurial dreams? Of course, he can't carry children and breastfeed, but how can he support?
So let's take children out of the conversation, because in most cases, children don't just pop up in the first year of marriage. So going back to your question, how can a guy support? Of course, emotional support, helping her flesh out the idea, right? Whether it's helping with social media marketing, outreach, promoting in the local community, contributing with ideas. So let's say, for example, I keep coming back to this restaurant, right? Ideas for the menu, giving some feedback. Remember when you were starting your salad business? I was giving you feedback on the salads and which ones I liked, which one I didn't like. So there's so many different ways you can support.
Okay, how about, do you see a man supporting by helping out in the household?
Of course.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not support. That's something he should be doing anyways.
Yes, but if she...
Right? I mean, the Prophet ﷺ did it, so you should be doing it too.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not a fard. I'm not saying it is. But you should be doing it anyways as a partnership of marriage.
The problem is when the wife is pursuing her business, more workload, house workload will fall on the husband. Do you see Muslim men actually supporting and, I don't know, helping in diaper changing or in cooking or whatever, like more than what the regular couple go through?
It depends on the lifestyle, not the lifestyle, but the workload of the husband. So what kind of job does he have? Does he work from home? How much flexibility is there with his job? Is it a business idea that he can get behind and really be invested in emotionally? And if that's the case, then yeah. So let's take our example. You started a salad business. How did we make things work at home while you were off at the ghost kitchen, like 5 days a week?
Well, I think in our case, because we were leaving home together, we were coming home together, you would drop me off at the restaurant and pick me up. And so I feel like in our case, it was different because we were doing everything together.
Yeah. But were things getting neglected at home? I mean, sometimes, yes, we did have to eat out.
Yeah. Even though we run a restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we just automatically fell into this like partnership mode.
Or
like,
routine. We fell into this routine. Yeah.
Like you would do dishes, you would help with laundry, you would even sometimes come and stay late, help in the kitchen. So it started as my business and turned into our business.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of it, honestly. Like, if you can actually end up being business partners, that's even more beautiful.
Well, it has its pros and cons.
Yes, absolutely.
And we had many stressful days, many days where we fought. Yes.
Yeah.
But yes, there's a beauty in letting things figure out itself organically. And there is value in knowing things in advance too, at the same time.
Something that like needs we need to shed some light on is when respect for her business is conditional on success.
Right, that is a problem.
Yeah, and then if God forbid it fails, then the whole
I told you so.
I told you so, or the blaming game starts. Exactly.
Yeah.
Or
that doesn't help anyone.
Exactly. Or when his support is conditional on this doesn't affect him.
Right. So
I'll support you as long as it doesn't affect me. That's not support.
So I'm going to quote something that we always take from Chris Rock. that we always share in our workshops, which is
Yeah, let's avoid the cuss words though.
your success is my success is your success. And I couldn't say any better than how Chris Rock said it, right? Like, we're both in this together. There's no, you better prove yourself and then I'm on board, and if you don't, then, you are going to be the source of blame.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what? I wish people looked at marriage in this way, as like we become one unit. It doesn't mean like there's no self of sense anymore and we're just a fusion of these two people. No, of course, you still have your own personality and your own dreams
and identity.
Yeah. But I wish people looked at marriage as, like I said, as a unit, not as what I bring to the table, what you bring to the table. How can I benefit? How can I get more? How can I protect myself? I understand in some situations this is important. You want to have a backup plan or whatever, but I don't know. There's beauty when looking at marriage as this like one unit, or like we always say in our workshops, as a plant, you're both working on like nurturing it and making sure it grows and it flourishes.
Right.
It makes a huge difference.
And if one person neglects it, then the burden falls on the other person. But it should be a partnership where both people are nurturing the plant.
So sometimes I'll give more, sometimes you'll give more. But at the end of the day, it's not... I don't even, you know what? I don't even like the word partnership. Because partnership implies... transactional or like conditional, something conditional. But marriage is... I don't know. It's its own entity. It's a beautiful entity.
Yeah. I couldn't say it any better than that. But we have a PDF guide for our listeners. Can you share a little bit about that?
So this is a new thing we started. We thought it would be beneficial for you guys. With each episode, we will be linking a PDF file, whether a checklist, whether a list of questions, whether a reflection or a story that helps internalize what's been mentioned in the episode, and offer something practical if you're going through whatever topic we're discussing in the specific episode, something you can actually take home and implement to help you make clearer decisions, inshallah.
So the main thing I want to share with everyone is that entrepreneurship in and of itself is not a red flag. Whether you're a guy, you're a girl, entrepreneurship is something beautiful. It's so deeply rooted in our seerah. We could just dedicate another episode to just that topic alone. And it's something that we need to encourage as a community, as parents, for our younger children, and for potential son-in-laws and daughter-in-laws.
I think the problem is when expectations are not discussed. It's not entrepreneurship itself.
So, inshallah, hope you guys benefited from this episode. As always, leave a comment, share your thoughts, reflections, concerns, anything you guys disagreed with.
Download that PDF.
And until next time.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.